gonna secretly classify government documents for 50 plus years and release them as though we're supposed to be interested, then you should have to release some documents we're actually interested. Or how about Hillary's emails, babe? New rule, the show starts now.
Good afternoon. At the tone, time will be
Yeah, it's the Overdose Talk Show. Woo! Well, look at Katie. She's completely passed out.
She's been drinking since 8 this morning.
Since 8 this morning, she's been drinking?
Yeah.
But
since last night at some point.
She is breathing into the microphone, so that's enough.
It's a definite plus at least.
Yeah.
It's not a negative for sure.
Sorry, everybody. I'm still
She's
getting.
not going to use that mic stand. Can I just steal it, you think?
I'm still
No.
getting the level set here.
She says no. She woke up enough to say, "Don't take my mic
Yeah,
stand."
she said.
Welcome to the Overdose Talk Show. What number is this? We're over 150. This is like 155. It's my last.
Is it episode
1,050.
Nothing. Never mind.
It's my last night in New Orleans. My friend Lee is here.
Hi.
Hi, Lee. Won't
Hello.
see him anymore. That's for damn sure. My sisters came down to
For
help
1
us
month
move
from
up there.
now.
Look at Katie. She's
Help us move up
Dude,
there.
look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's exhausted.
What? She's at an 80-degree
Katie.
angle.
Grab the mic. Come on, be part of what's going on here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you'll be good.
She
You were
was
funny
complete-
10 minutes ago.
And then it took 40 minutes for Vinny to start the talk show.
Yeah, I was trying, but
Vinny.
took
Look.
a while, so I had to go to take a cute little nap on the couch, but I'm back.
It was not cute. It was 30 years old and head cocked back all the way snoring.
Yeah.
30,
By the way,
32.
you look at
30,
you got
32.
I wouldn't say cute, but
32.
maybe partially adorable.
you and your
32.
fucking last Mohican haircut. It's the furthest thing from cute.
Well,
You
some
look
peop-
like- dude.
Some people might be.
No,
into
it
that.
counts. It's pink.
Fucking Mad Max extra.
There you go.
Being real
That's
cute.
a little
being,
more like it.
being real cute on the fucking couch. Take a picture of her, Andrea.
Thank you.
Let everyone see.
Yes, sir.
We'll put that up. Because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, let's do it next. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andrea? Did you know, as our government is wont to do from time to time, they'd like to clear the air on certain topics, and they'd like to all of a sudden give us the truth and what really happened with certain events that people are interested in. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
God.
Some things that are very persistent, like the JFK
JFK
killing.
assassination.
And now, guess what? It's cool.
Martin Luther King.
Because 25 years ago, there was a renewed interest in the case, and there was public interest, and they deemed it relevant. You know, we want these documents released. We want everything the CIA has and everything the federal government has on the JFK assassination. And
Yeah.
they said, okay, no problem. We'll give it to you in 25 years.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Just long enough that you won't care anymore.
Just, I mean, why wouldn't we keep it for 25 years? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to hide here, right? And
Right.
so now we're supposed to see all this shit come out. Is anybody but me completely uninterested in anything that comes out of their hands after 50 fucking years of holding these documents and going, yeah, we investigated. Russians investigated and thought LBJ was responsible. You know, there's a million things that have happened that are compelling. Why do we give a fuck what our own government says about the JFK assassination?
we don't, and they're going to do the same thing with 9/11, which is just wait until enough people are too old to give a shit anymore.
I thought that since I was a kid. I was
Yeah, me
like,
too.
there'll be a book in 20 years and no one will care.
I
You know,
saw the
like-
craziest goddamn thing. I went to our mom's house a few days ago, and she had CNN.
By the way, me and
on.
Andrea are sisters. I knew Andrea before this podcast.
Oh my god, can you even believe
Yeah,
it?
we were
Did you
si-
know
we were brother-
Vinny is sisters with?
He's got sisters.
I'm sisters with a bunch of
So I went to our
Not
mom's
scissor
house,
sisters, I
and she
assume.
had CNN on, and like the audio wasn't on; it was just the video. And they had a main picture where the headline said
What part? Augusta
John
or
F. shut up.
Southern Coast? Or
John F. Kennedy's granddaughter weighs in on Zapruder film. It was like someone connected to the Kennedy family.
Sure.
Starts talking about the Zapruder film, and then they had like a smaller.
Is she snoring? Are you moving the
Like
mic? 'Cause
a-
she was snoring. Hold
like
on,
a-
wait. Lee just grabbed the mic from out in front of Katie. Was she snoring in it? Was that?
Lee's just jealous
I don't
because he
wanna
doesn't have his own mic
Okay.
stand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. All right, Andrea. I'm sorry.
So anyway, so they had like the main picture with the caption about the Zapruder film, and then they had like a smaller picture-in-picture, and it was playing the scene from Seinfeld where they're describing the magic loogie scene, and I could not understand.
With Keith Hernandez. Yeah. There was a second spitter.
That's the more culturally relevant and understandable thing to be
Mm-hmm.
presenting on CNN while they're talking about the Zapruder film. Like, for those of you who don't know,
It's been controlled since day one.
Right.
The media has completely had control of it. And who
like,
goes,
here's an example of how it's been turned into a goofy, wacky thing, and now
Right.
we're going to talk about it for real.
And I don't understand a rational person thinking, okay, for 50 years, the CIA and the federal government had control over these documents. How could a rational person think there's anything of value coming out of these?
Because the government used to be bad, but they're not bad
They're not
anymore.
bad anymore.
It
It's
changed.
switched. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Been released, right? Ugh.
Start over. I'm
my
sorry.
words are
Yeah, go ahead.
vodka.
Right.
The documents have been released, right?
Right.
Like you can read them. Mm-hmm. Like, have we read them?
A bunch of them.
What does it say?
They released some of them. I haven't taken a look at it because I'm taking this stance on it, okay? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not reading any of that shit. It could be completely fake. It could be doctored. It could be redacted. I'm sure most of it is redacted. A lot of it, if you've ever spent any time on a website like the Black Vault back in the day when you used to just download Freedom of Information Act documents,
It's all redacted and it's all
60-70% of them is just blacked out. It's
Well, and
worthless. We have an illusion of transparency.
But isn't
Enough-
it like, shouldn't you read it before you make the judgment? Like, this is just bullshit.
The point is kind
What
of
if-
moot, I think,
What
because
if
it
you
came-
read it and like, oh yeah, LBJ like ordered this hit from the CIA?
Would it really
It-
change how you feel about the government? I'm in a position
like,
where, like,
it would
I
be
feel
like-
like the facts that I do
Instead
know
of just-
about the JFK assassination are enough that I know that it has been deliberately misrepresented by
Sure.
the media to the public. And, like, the details of that at this point are less important.
But also, in response to what you were saying, if it did say that, I would then question, maybe that's just what they want me to think.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Because, like,
isn't
what
it
you know is what you
incredible
know.
thing to happen?
Not from the U.S. government,
and not from these documents that have been held back for 50 years. 25 years ago, it took a giant fucking case that went to the Supreme Court, if I remember correctly. I'm sorry if that's wrong, but it was a giant issue, and Bush Sr. said, "Look, we got to have these out," which is strange because he was probably in on the assassination team, from what I know.
Yeah.
Bush Sr. was photographed in
It's
Dealey
Dallas,
Plaza
Texas.
that
That's
day.
Bush's territory,
Again,
right?
But here's the issue. Now, he was quoted for decades. He was asked over and over by various publications and things like this where he was on the day of the John F. Kennedy assassination, and for years he said he couldn't recall. He
Which
didn't
almost
know.
every
depository.
Every American knows where they were when they heard that happen.
It would be like us with
Not knowing where we were at
9/11 or
9/11.
something.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you
Sandy
guys
Hook, you know what I mean?
really
Like,
do remember
Did you say
where you were?
Sandy
I don't
Hook?
remember where I was
Yes.
for Sandy Hook.
I don't remember where I was.
I remember where I
9/11.
was the
I
first
do.
time Obama got elected, and I remember where I was when 9/11 happened.
Also, where I remember where I was when I had the most delicious burrito. It was Taco
Yeah. Taco Bell.
Bell. Yeah. No, I don't remember any of those other things you said. I just remember 9/11.
loser.
No, and
That's
and
it.
it-
That's
wait,
the
here's
only
the-
big event that happened in my lifetime.
Well, okay.
The real
but
genuine
The
question-
point is, hold on. So I'm sorry to finish the Bush thing. So he said over and over he didn't know where he was, and then all these memos came out later on that implicated an agent named Bush as being in Dallas that day and blah blah blah. But he was supposedly never part of the CIA. He was basically look, here's the long and short of it. And you can go look. Our show is not the show to fucking prove things to people. This is an entertainment show. But if you want to go look it up, here's the long and short of it. George Bush was a CIA agent for long before he admitted, and his whole job was basically to run his controlled opposition in elections. He was a loser. He was a programmed loser. That's what he was.
So you're saying George H.W. Bush might have murdered JFK?
But yeah, he was. I think he was in the assassination team. I think he was.
Okay.
E. Howard Hunt. Okay, E. Howard Hunt was implicated by Spotlight magazine in the 80s. They published an article naming him as the head of the assassination team and being responsible for JFK's death. E. Howard Hunt sued Spotlight magazine and lost. A jury concluded in a civil trial, right? Okay, not same burden of proof, but they still concluded in a civil trial that E. Howard Hunt was responsible for JFK's death. This has already been done in court.
Never mind that Lee Harvey Oswald was assassinated.
Never mind that when they fucking
Immediately.
as they're walking him out, if you've ever seen the whole fucking video and you pay attention to what he says, they're walking him out and he goes, they go, "Why did you kill the president?" And he goes, "That's the first anyone's told me that. I didn't know why I was here." And they keep asking him questions, and eventually he goes, it clicks. He goes, "I'm a patsy." Boom.
Yeah.
Dead. Fake mobster. Fucking shithead from Miami. Whatever that fucking douchebag who wannabe asshole just comes up and kills you. Really? That makes sense? Okay.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Okay, so
never mind George W. Bush.
you guys didn't read
leaning
the
like a
documents that were
teamster.
released. That's why I'm asking.
No, and that's
Okay.
and that's my point of this whole conversation is why would we? Why would we
Why
spend our
not?
time? Well, okay,
Why not?
No,
what else are you
well,
gonna read? The
here's my
Garfield
question.
no,
comics?
read it. Yeah, no, I read it. Why?
Family Guy?
There's no reason not to, other than the fact that you don't want to waste your time.
Why read
know?
through
My
all those
question
WikiLeaks?
is, if the government had nothing to hide, if their goal was truly transparency, and if they didn't feel like there was a responsibility that landed on them that people would be fucking pissed off about, why defer the release of information by 25 years? Is there like actually a good reason that they would do that besides the fact that they want to mislead the consumers of that information?
I mean, I understand that. Like, just keep.
But
the conspiracy.
I'm asking, is there a good reason that they would do that besides to wait until people are done worrying about it?
Let the conspiracy theorists seem like crazy people. Because I think that's kind of what Obama
Totally,
did.
but they're gonna prove them right in 25
Well,
years
that's what
anyway.
Obama did.
Hold on,
Like,
so-
I'm not going to release my birth certificate, or I'm going to release like an edited version. So all these
Right.
people seem
Certificate
like
of live birth.
crazy.
Right. That was clearly photoshopped. Sorry.
Yeah.
It just was.
But like there's a reason for
Brother
him not
in
to
Kenya.
do that, even if he's legitimate birth in Hawaii,
Michael Obama.
Frank Marshall Davis ass son.
right? Because
Uncle
like,
Tom,
his
son of a
opponent
bitch.
seems crazy.
Dreams of my fake father looking ass boy. No,
I just feel like
what you're saying is that there's a reason, there might be a legitimate reason that the government would keep that stuff hidden, or what
Yeah,
would-
like even if there's nothing to be hidden, keep
But
it
there
hidden
is.
because
there's gotta be, or
like
else I
the
wouldn't have a show.
like the conspiracy theorists are so crazy and wrong.
Right.
Like when it eventually does get released, people are like, "Oh yeah, these fucking conspiracy theorists."
Well, and it's the same
And then
thing
like
they
it
did with...
discredits everything that like,
So you're saying they
because
let-
one conspiracy theorist is gonna like believe numerous things. So
No,
The,
dude.
okay.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
don't wa- I don't-
JFK assassination, the
But
moon
the loose-
landing,
the loose
9/11,
No, it's
fluoride,
not,
all of
dude.
these things. So if you can
No.
disprove
Dude,
one,
I would
they're a
challenge
crazy
you. I would
person.
challenge you to find any 5 people that feel the same way on all those topics.
Yeah, for sure.
That term,
every time I went to any type of libertarian meeting, like I met the one guy that believed in everything,
Fine,
and he
but
wanted to talk
there's-
to me about all of them.
But I
Well-
know, but using the term conspiracy theorist as with like such a loose application really isn't fair. It's you're basically adhering to the idea that if you believe the media and government don't lie, then you're a wacko that might also think that the Earth is flat and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah,
Right,
Earth is
which you
flat.
might.
Ooh.
Which you might.
I haven't met a lot of
but-
flat earthers, but
I
know
have a
couple.
flat Earth tattoo, so
Yeah, and I am also not hating on flat
Is it
Earthers.
on the flat of your back?
I'm not
No,
even
it's on my
hating on
arm.
flat earthers by saying
see
that,
it.
but do you see what I'm saying? The loose application of that term is really crazy. It's not right, man, because like there can be a giant stack of evidence that there was more than one person involved in an event, and yet you proposing that more than one person involved in an event based on a giant stack of evidence is somehow now weird and crazy. How could you think that not every assassination, every giant mass shooting, every terrible thing that's ever happened in this country was a fucking lone nut? How could you not believe that? You're weird. You're crazy. That's conspiracy theory. I just don't like that term. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I just
Yeah, but
don't
that's a term that's used. So
yeah, but it's been
let's
but it's
use
been
it in the term that it's used.
the conspiracy theory
that's what I'm saying, it's
terminology
like-
has
Okay.
been harnessed by people whose objective is to harm
maybe
those
I
ideas.
misunderstood the way you were.
Okay, what I'm saying
it,
is, okay, let's say, like, the JFK documents don't prove anything because they've done whatever to it.
But let's
right?
say.
But
Okay,
the-
hold on
okay,
though. You have to be specific about what you mean by they don't prove anything.
Okay, no,
because,
no,
like,
no.
There's a big
Okay,
difference
no,
between
you
what
said-
the official story is,
if they
what's
said-
generally accepted, and what the documents
Okay,
say. Those are three different things.
Okay, originally you said because
well,
25 years ago they were going to read them.
Sorry, let's cut you off. Let's line this up for the listener. So here was my point, and then you go ahead with your what you
I
think.
suppose the host gets his own direction on
Yeah.
the way he goes.
No.
so. I'm fine with it.
All I'm saying is, so
go
here's
with it.
just to
I
reset
love
it
you,
up.
Vinny.
To reset it up.
I'm going to miss you from New Orleans.
Here's
Last night in New Orleans, everyone.
this is yeah.
This
And
is it.
Here's my thing.
I won't be on the show ever again.
No point in reading it. Here's as simple as it is. I think there's no point in reading it because there's no reason to trust the people that had control over the documents and that then fucking relinquish them as though we're supposed to go, oh, sure. Yeah, you just
right.
You just kept them in a file cabinet all this time.
Yeah.
And you only redacted things that were absolutely essential to national security. So, okay.
Okay, so I have 2 points.
Okay.
One, we should definitely read the documents to see what they say.
Oh, fuck them.
Before we're just like, oh, we're not going to trust these at all.
I'm okay with that, but
Well,
reading
yeah, let's
them-
read them, right?
but the
first, can we
but-
read them first before
Well-
we're just like, oh, no, this is not true? Because, like, literally,
and no.
if the document
Right.
said LBJ, like, planned with the CIA to murder Kennedy, would that just not be enough to prove to you guys
Yeah,
that, like,
no, then I would
oh,
be-
Yes
God,
and no.
the government's the worst?
Yes
Then
and
I-
no, though, because like
Yes and
if
no?
the Daily Mail
Yes
published,
and no?
yeah, absolutely, because
That's
you
not
have
enough.
To,
That's not enough for you.
No, no, no.
Hold on, but listen
no.
to why, though.
LBJ.
The most important thing is to consider the source of the information. And if the source of the information has proven themselves over decades
To
to
be
be
liars.
non-reputable, then you can't just accept something that they release as truth, whether parts of it have been redacted or not redacted.
Or whether
They,
it
have
says what you
proven
want it to
themselves-
say or it doesn't. you
Right.
know?
Okay,
They
so
have
why would
proven
the federal
themselves
government
capable-
say the LBJ a president?
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
So they just had him as a patsy?
Yeah,
Sure.
That
sure.
wouldn't anger the American people?
Who's ever heard of a patsy?
No,
But
but
that
the
wouldn't
point-
anger the American people that, like, he
Yeah, it
conspired
will,
with
but
the
they wait-
CIA to murder a president.
They wait. That's my whole question was, is there any purpose for waiting the amount of time that they have waited to release that information?
other than to cover things up.
Other
No,
than
there's
to
not.
mislead the consumers of that information.
Exactly.
The
Yeah,
only
there you
reason
go.
why they would say
Yeah.
that long, they would wait that long.
That's a
to
great way
release
to
the
put it.
Okay,
information.
but like
That's-
if
yeah.
they released that after 10 years, Americans would be outraged. The CIA would not exist.
It would take longer than
So
10 years.
they
And no,
re-
that's not true. The
So they
CIA
rela-
funds
they
itself. It
waited
doesn't matter what the American people think
50
about
years.
the CIA.
Dude, if the American people's opinion of the CIA mattered, they would have been gone 50 years ago.
Absolutely, but
I
they get
mean-
to
What, you
they
need
get to create and fund
way
themselves.
more majority than just like 51%.
No, but you know how things in this country work.
And
I do.
also, it doesn't.
I mean-
It literally doesn't matter. As far as we're concerned, officially, my tax money doesn't go to paying for anything for the CIA. They are self-sufficient. They earn their own money. They have their own agendas, and they
they're
do
not-
whatever the
and-
fuck they want.
And from their inception, They have not been responsible. They have to remember when we went over the rules of the CIA. We did this about 6 months ago. It's funny how it basically works out to the fact that they're responsible to answer to Congress, but
really.
But they're not responsible to answer anything. They're responsible to show up, but then they can just claim national security on every question.
Okay, I want to
I mean,
pretend that I'm the defender of the CIA for all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's fine.
For this argument.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't trust them at all. I want them to be abolished.
No, yeah,
they are the worst, right?
Yeah.
For the record.
Can I just
Okay,
say that?
yeah.
Yeah, challenge us though.
Because I mean, it just seems all of a sudden like I was defending them. And
Right.
that's not at all my
so let's
case
just
on
roll
this.
with that.
Yeah, but if you want,
But I'm saying, like, can we
Play-
just read them?
play devil's advocate. Yeah.
Can
go
we
ahead.
read the JFK files that were released?
We can.
And see what that has to say. Because what if it has to say what exactly you meant?
But it's
what
Totally, but
exactly
can
you
we-
think it
It's kinda-
means.
to
Can
me-
we read
So
an
you're just
Onion article about
so
it?
then are all of a
Can
sudden
we
you're gonna be
read
like,
a Cosmopolitan article about what
That's to
happened?
me, I get what
Can
you're
we-
saying. Like I
no,
get
I
what
mean,
I
read
get.
the source file.
I get
Read
Yeah,
what
totally.
was released,
but the
not
source has
not the
proven
New York,
themselves to
not
be
the
untrustworthy,
New
so
York
it doesn't
Times
really
version of
matter.
that.
Dude, at this point, if the CIA said the sky is blue, I would have to fucking
Yeah, show me the science.
Yeah,
Okay,
question.
yeah, really? Then you'd question it? Okay.
You know what I mean?
All
That's obviously an exact, but you know what I mean? Like, so
But if-
why read it? Why read it when it
because
can,
read it.
well, okay, fine.
It's-
Why not?
it's
There's also why
information
not.
to you.
So there's no real reason not to, as long as
Okay.
you have an objective approach to it. But the content doesn't have any influence over the actual validity of what's presented. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it says.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, whatever theory you have with JFK,
It's not. I don't have theories. I know facts, dude.
Okay.
I know facts.
you have theories because you weren't there. You have
don't-
no idea what happened.
I don't
It's
theorize
a
anything.
Theory.
No.
Yeah, it's a theory.
You're
I'm a theory.
pro-government shill.
That's what they call me,
No.
Lee, pro-government shill
Yeah,
web.
no, you could call it theories.
Okay.
You know, whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
you weren't there. You don't know what happens. So I'm going to say theory.
So the best
yeah.
thing to do is to trust the government's account
No.
of the events.
New information is released.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I
Read that
know.
information and then choose the information.
How do you know it's
dispute that
information?
Right.
Unless you read it, you have no idea.
Right,
no, no,
but
no.
unless you
Read
consider the
whether-
source,
but-
Read,
it doesn't.
that's all
No, no,
I'm asking.
here's-
Read the information.
Okay, read the information, but can you accept this point?
I
No, can you listen?
yes,
I'm
I
asking-
already I know what
Accept-
you're gonna say, and I will agree to it.
You don't know what he's gonna say. He could say anything.
Don't.
Yes, don't
Say
trust
something
what they're
different.
gonna release
No, no,
because
no. Yeah, but
it's the
read it-
government, and I don't trust the government.
But then at that
That's
point,
true.
At that point, you follow the same logic. Read it or don't read it. Same value. Like
You're right.
You literally gain nothing by reading it.
Let me ask you
you
this.
might
Hold
have.
on. Let me just ask you. It's just related to like government credibility. Do you know who was found legally responsible at a federal level for the death of Martin Luther King?
The FBI.
I have no idea.
The American fucking government
Right,
was found
well,
in
no.
a civil suit by a federal court.
Specifically, the FBI and the federal government as a whole. Yeah.
Right, were found legally
found
responsible
for
for,
Martin
the
Luther
death
King's
of Martin
death.
Luther King.
Yeah, of course.
Which was publicly displayed as an assassination.
His wife and his son fought that for like 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was judged to be a truth
fucking burned
in
the
the
shit out of
federal
my finger, sorry.
court.
Go ahead.
But nobody knows it. You know, I
Right.
just
Well, that's information that they're not reading into.
right, but they released
So,
that information
okay,
and then people
so
fucking
just like people are disregarding that information, you guys are disregarding the JFK files that were released by the government.
No, but we're talking about separate things. We're talking about.
But it's all information that's
we're talking
released on a
about-
topic. Read that information. Make your own opinion on that information.
What possible? Like, here's the
Whether
thing.
you believe what the government's releasing you is true
Yeah, you
or
can,
not, that's fine.
you-
Just read it.
Yeah,
Was it what is entailed in there? If
you can
you are
read it.
so dead hard on believing whatever it is, if JFK's your issue, read what they release in the government.
Sure.
Why would you not?
Okay, and
That's like, I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I'm not going to read the 7th book.
Why?
Because you know what J.K. Rowling wants to say about this? is her own thing.
That is a complete. Okay, do I have to explain to you the difference between a fictional creation by an author versus an actual chain of
obsessions.
events?
Explain to me obsession.
No,
Andrea,
not related.
Andrea, I would argue
Explain to me
that there is no
obsessions.
difference between a fictional creation by an author and the CIA documents. that
Okay.
were
Except JFK actually died. Martin Luther King actually died.
And Harry Potter didn't.
No.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
kind of, but
Okay.
not really. Oh,
You know,
spoiler alert.
J.K.
Spoiler alert,
Rowling's
kind of, but not really.
J.K. Rowling's
Harry
opinion
Potter
about
should
the
have died?
seventh novel holds a lot more weight than any members of the government's opinion about JFK's
But also,
death.
Okay, can I
because
explain my analogy because it wasn't apparently.
It wasn't very good.
If you have an obsession about something,
By the way,
whether it be
Lee-
Harry
Lee-
Potter
Lee-
or
Lee's an anal OG. That means you've been taking it up your ass for a long time.
so, if you are obsessed about
Get it?
something,
He said analogy as an anal OG.
Yeah.
yeah, we got it.
Damn.
Been taking it up the ass for decades.
Yeah, there we go. So anyway, if you have an obsession about
North
something,
Dakota fucking man puss.
whether it be Harry Potter or JFK, you would probably read everything that's released about it.
Okay.
So
Sure.
when the government
There's
releases,
no harm. I agree. There's no
Okay,
harm. in
all I'm
Hold on,
asking
though.
is
Yeah.
just
You
read
read it-
the
Yeah,
information
yeah.
about
Read
it.
it.
No,
but-
I
but-
agree
but-
with you.
I'm the worst guy in the room right now for asking people to read. The
No.
information about
Nobody said
JFK.
you, nobody's treating you poorly, you fucking asshole. Shut the fuck up.
No.
And
I don't
and
know that
also
I'm a fucking asshole.
and also listen, the only point that you need to acknowledge is there's probably no point. If you would just acknowledge that there's probably no point in reading it, then we can move on.
But like, if we're gonna talk about it, could one of us on this talk show read a single sentence
Yeah.
Okay.
that was released?
Here's
I
here's
also
the thing. Hold
would
on.
like to point out
know
that
Vinny's busy
I
moving.
also want Monsanto's internal documents about glyphosates or glyphosates or whatever the fuck they are. I'm drunk as shit. I want Montano's.
nice.
I want.
Listen,
I want
and-
Monsanto.
Monsanto?
I want Monsanto's
Obsession?
Monsanto's.
internal documents about PCBs and why would I want that? They're just gonna lie. What the fuck? Why would I want the CIA's documents about the JFK assassination? Why the fuck would it ever be
Because
true?
people have always been asking for those, have they not?
I haven't. I never wanted that shit.
No other people have.
Because
that
you know
are
why?
that care
Because
about
dude,
JFK.
because when I was a kid, I was on one of the
Wasn't
first
there like 11 documents from the 9/11 report that weren't released?
the 28 pages.
28 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, so why was that such an issue? That was a government
because it's
thing.
28 goddamn pages.
Okay, that's different than the JFK
I get.
files.
No,
I get,
it's the
yeah.
pressure is different because of the evolution of technology. Honestly,
that's true too.
And also, wait, just to
JFK
go back
files
to the
are
Harry
all
Potter
from
thing.
typewriters. You know.
Can I just point out that an obsession with a fictional character and storyline
like JFK.
like Harry Potter is completely
Or like
different than
fucking-
having a well-informed opinion about an event that actually did happen.
Yeah, I wish people cared more about the event that actually happened than that fictional
I wish
character.
that too.
Which
Like, yeah, of
Right?
course you wish that. Yes.
yeah.
I wish that people
But-
had passion in like stupid things like sports,
I mean, dude,
fictional characters,
you can
and
read it.
stories.
Here's this is the
had the
end-
same passion in actual history.
This is
That'd
the
be
end,
great.
This is the end of the day. You could, or you at the end of the day, you can read the whole fucking thing, study it all you want. What is it going to do for you?
But what does it say? That's what I'm asking. What does it actually say?
I don't care.
Can you look it up? You have
No,
a
I don't
computer
give
in
a
front
shit.
of you.
I
Can
know,
you just
I'm not doing it.
shut
No.
him up?
We're not doing
No.
it. We're not doing that.
Okay.
What, can I shut him up by reading 3,600 pages of government documents?
please,
right
Out
now?
loud.
on the air,
Out loud.
please.
Out loud in a sensual voice, please.
Yeah, we're not asking for a lot.
Yeah, two things.
But no,
And yeah, no,
Out
you're
loud,
not wrong.
sensual.
Lee, you're absolutely right that like people who want to have a hard opinion about this stuff really should take the time to read it.
I'm not going to.
I'm not going to
That's
either
fine.
because I have considered the source.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. It's like I'm just not interested in what they have to say about it because it's too. I would feel too gullible.
Right.
Going, okay, the CIA had these documents for 50 years.
And they didn't tell us yet, but
And
now
then-
we're old enough to know.
Right? Yeah. Now everybody.
Well, they're forced to tell us.
Now everybody's dead. That fucking
Yeah.
took
Wait,
part
aren't
in the
they
thing.
No, we
forced to tell
can't.
us?
There's nobody left to convict,
because
so they're
all of a
allowed
sudden
to tell
Trump
us now.
said,
Well, now
"You're releasing these."
the way I understand it,
Right.
The way I understand it is that it was implemented 25 years ago. They said, hey, look, these documents have to come out. The CIA said, we want 25 years. And Bush Sr. said, yeah, that sounds reasonable. And said, okay, you can have 25 years.
Here you go, Iraq. Have some nuclear weapons.
And then Trump's was, yeah,
Here's some
right.
WMDs.
Right,
In
yeah.
case they come around, here's how to hide them. Don't be a nothing.
By the way, can you possibly make a shoebox of receipts disappear from me? Because this is not going to look good.
No, just pretend they went to Syria, but maybe not. It's fine.
So-
It's fine.
So Bush Sr. says, okay, we're going to go ahead with this in 25 years. He's 92 years old. He probably thought he'd be dead by now.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking.
He probably
And-
thought they'd kill him by now.
Or, yeah.
Oh no, the definition of Patsy's not George H.W. Bush.
But
There, he's safe.
So here's what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what Trump said.
He's gonna see the Dodgers win this World
Trump
Cup.
said-
Trump's position on this basically was from what I understand, right? Everything is so fucking whatever. He supposedly said, "Look, I don't understand what pertinence this could have to national security," and that's what I understood. Is he basically said, "I don't get why this is still a secret. Like, let's get this out." It was 50 years ago. Everybody's dead that surrounded this fucking thing, and it couldn't possibly affect national security now. So he's basically sort of taking that approach. However,
This is HW you're talking about, right?
no, I'm
Trump.
talking about Trump right now.
Oh, Trump.
That's
Oh,
his approach.
okay.
HW approved it
Donald
25
Trump.
years, which is
Right,
now
okay.
was now 2 days ago, and Trump basically
It was
just
already 25 years ago.
yeah, and
My word,
I know, and
so old.
Trump just basically didn't, reject it, veto it, or he has.
You
the
think
po-
someone came up to him and was like, have you looked at your calendar for today, President Trump? You're supposed to release the JFK files.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll get around
I'm
to
not
that.
doing that.
No, I'm sure he never heard about it before. Never had
Yeah.
any idea this was going on.
I
you
feel
know.
like that's a calendar for the day type thing for the presidents.
So,
HW probably never considered that by the time those things could be released, information would be available to every single person on the planet
Nobody
in the
could
blink
have-
of an
I
eye.
my
honestly
word.
think-
The internet was barely a thing. in
right,
history.
Right.
and even
92.
Not even.
At
I
the
mean,
end of his presidency, 92.
That's
like, it
when
was
the military was
dial-up.
like
You
just
couldn't-
starting.
Like, I
to
bought
use it.
dial-up.
Yeah.
you could not
I
have
had
imagined.
dial-up.
No.
You couldn't-
33.5K.
You couldn't possibly have imagined even. I mean, think about 10 years ago when all of us were, adults.
fucking flopping
basically,
around on the
and-
ground like a bunch of dead fish.
and
10 years ago,
just,
so much more. Dude, 92 was just so
starving,
ridiculous.
just roaming the wilderness looking for restaurants
Could you
with maps.
fucking
It's like-
imagine? Could you imagine if at the JFK assassination they were able to make copies of DVDs of the Zapruder film and pass
Oh,
them out to their
Jesus.
friends? Because that was my first
All of
experience
them would
with.
be videoing it on their phone.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me? It'd
My
be
first-
impossible to, like...
You couldn't do it.
The
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
time
it should
I
be
said
impossible.
the government is lying to me was because somebody handed me a burned DVD of a 9/11 conspiracy movie.
Sure.
And that was the first time I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
remember
God.
that was-
Had they
in
tried
plain
to down
sight.
that...
In plain sight.
Had
Yeah,
they
yeah.
downloaded that
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
you, it would have taken like 3 days.
We had it at our
that
house
time.
when we were kids. We had it in plain sight, and our whole family watched it.
It was good. I had actually one
shit.
year I had a 9/11 gathering where I invited a large group of people into my home to watch a variety of 9/11 alternative history DVDs. And had the Zapruder film been so widely available to the people of Reddit, who could spend 12 hours
Jesus.
a day
Rabbit,
looking
Illinois.
at it and trying to figure out exactly what was going on and analyzing it and using their Photoshop skills and crowdsourcing some kind of analysis. Imagine how different the history of that story would be. And I
Yeah.
think when they said in 25 years, they never thought like people are gonna
It's
are gonna be
true.
doing that in
Just
25 years.
Be able to tweet things so quickly.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Our
I love.
president will be able to tweet these
Oh my
documents in
God,
25
no.
years.
Yeah,
Thank
so
God.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now-
WikiLeaks. That'd be
so now-
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is maybe the greatest thing.
But don't you
And
think
it's still
that happened.
new.
Don't you guys think it's just ridiculous, this idea that's like, yeah, we'll release them in 25 years. It was already
Yeah.
the 90s. Do you realize how old the Kennedy assassination was in the 90s?
Oh yeah.
like, and they're like, we need 25 more years because this shit was fucked. Like, you don't even want to know what happened behind the scenes here.
Right.
We need some time. And George Bush Sr., I swear to God, man, I am ultimately I'm pretty much 100% convinced he was in on it. I
Who
am.
was?
George Bush Sr.
Is he a wrestler?
George Bush Sr.
George Bush Sr.
Per senior.
I'm
Why are you saying
wasted.
per senior?
George.
I thought you were talking about a professional wrestler. He body slammed Kennedy and then he died.
He's
What
trying
are
to
you
make
talking
fun of
about?
me, but he says processional cessor.
What's
Like,
wrong with your mouth?
that's what you said.
Yeah, I said that.
I'm pretty sure you said processional.
Do you think we'll ever see something like this happen with the undeclassified 9/11 information?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll put a timeline
Well, but
on
that's
like
the
No,
thing
when
is
we
because
when
get?
they already redacted a lot of
Exactly,
those
dude.
28 pages, right? And it's just like bad, but no one cares.
And that all had to do with Saudi Arabia's involvement.
Yeah,
You know,
like
supposedly.
Well,
there
they'll
was
release that information though, after the government switches and becomes good again.
No,
Again,
like-
right.
Right.
Yeah.
no, just looking at what they released is not good because it was like there was a Saudi Arabia official that like they quickly got out of America. Like there's no questions asked.
There was more than one.
But no, like it's still bad. Like what they released of the 28 pages you said
Right. Yeah.
is not good at all.
No, it's not good. It was
So
the
that- I mean,
minimal
that's the
amount
thing,
of
like-
information that they could
But
get
there
away
was a
with
lot-
releasing.
was
and
there-
it
So
was
I mean,
still
how many years ago
terrible.
was that? And they finally released it, and it's still
Was there
just
a,
like.
was there a lot redacted from that? When
4
they
years
released it?
ago?
I mean, that was the thing. There's 28 pages that were redacted
Right. I know.
initially, and then they started like releasing
But then from what they
information
released,
from that.
from what they released, see,
And
I
from
don't,
what they
It was like 90% redacted.
Yeah,
That's
from
the
what
pages that
they
they
released,
released.
that's my point.
was
Yes.
bad.
That's-
Was
right.
not good.
That's my
We
point.
covered that on the show when
I
it
know,
happened.
but I'm trying to add.
But
that's
we
why
couldn't
there was, like,
because there was
there
no
was a lot of
information.
Saudi Arabia ties to
Sure.
everything. The government
Are
got
those
them out of the
anything like
country.
boa
Like,
ties? Remember those things?
Wait, can we just remind everyone for a second about when Trump went to Saudi Arabia and put his hands on the fucking creepy fucking anti-terrorist orb?
Oh, the orb. Yeah.
I just want to make sure that everyone remembers that happened.
why do you
So-
hate orbs?
No, I am all about orbs, and I
But-
am very anti-terrorism.
But you love
Saudi
terrorists,
Arabia,
and you hate orbs.
and I hate women.
Yeah,
So
clearly. I've noticed that about you. Because you exclusively look like a dude.
That's why
So
she's
we-
on the show.
do we
Ooh.
do you really believe that there might be a time when they say in 25 years we'll release all the redacted information about 9/11?
No,
or
I don't trust anything ever. Why
Right,
would it
but,
be
like-
real? If I was running the fucking government and if it was me, okay? If it was me, at some time over the past 50 years, if
Well,
I
you wouldn't
ran
have
a
been
group
president
of
for 50 years.
100,000 spies,
Do you even know how
would I be
presidency
able to
works?
hold on? Would I be able to send any spies into my own building to change documents I wrote?
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's a
how
hard no.
how ridiculous is it to think that the biggest spy organization on the planet couldn't send spies into their own spy
Well, no,
building
hold
to
on,
change
though.
spy documents.
But
Please,
wait,
dude.
but Trump is different. He wouldn't do that. He's like an outsider. He shoots from the hip. He's
Well,
not part of their
the
little
deep-
group.
The
If he's
deep,
such
the,
a-
the
if he
deep
spends
state
so much-
hates him.
If he spends so much time outside,
sure.
why does he need that fake tan?
Ooh, ooh, ow.
Can we agree that the deep state hates Trump? Can we say that? on
No,
air?
I don't think so.
You don't
No.
think they hate him?
No, because he's pro war on drugs. He's pro volatile U.S. foreign policy. He's
Well, he was
continuing-
kind of,
pro-
but not really. A little
Do you
bit
know that he
on the
declared-
campaign trail.
No,
Like,
dude, he's continuing the same harmful policies that every president does. There's
yeah,
no
he
change.
was, but like
Wait.
There's no
kind of, but
change.
not really.
He did something weird the other
no,
day.
no.
He was the only. Who was the only candidate for president that said
Ron
we
Paul.
were lied
It's
into
probably
war?
Ron Paul. Huh?
We were lied into war and like
Ron Paul.
won.
Gary
at-
Johnson.
No, to be honest.
Yeah, Gary Johnson never said that.
To
I
be
guarantee
honest.
that.
To be
Gary
honest.
Johnson said like, what? Lied? Aleppo? I don't know what's
What's
going
Aleppo?
on. I'm a giant dummy. I'm just here.
I like weed.
Weed's good. And you know what? I'm a fiscal conservative, but a social democrat.
Right,
That's
yeah,
Gary
that
Johnson.
old
He's
thing,
a
yeah.
freaking tool.
Yeah, he's an
He,
idiot.
he's like a CIA operative.
No, and he also
he's the most ingenious CIA operative.
He
Like,
also
just-
supported like dress code laws in Arizona when he was governor.
Gary Johnson.
No sagging
Yeah.
pants.
New Mexico.
Or New Mexico was it?
yeah, he was, governor
whatever
of
it
New
was.
Mexico.
Yeah, it was hoodie laws.
I
that
mean,
was associated
he
with.
vetoed
But
the most laws in New Mexico, which is
that's
admirable.
fine. He's just a doofus.
But I mean, hey, veto.
The point is,
as much as you want.
hold on. What was
Loved
your,
him as a governor.
What was your point?
Would have been a great at senator, but he's not a presidential candidate.
going
But I'm
back to
just
your
saying,
point about Donald Trump.
Donald Trump said we were lied into war in the South Carolina primary. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I think
don't
most
think
candidates said
you
that.
don't think-
Actually, didn't
I
they?
think
You
the
think what?
general
Who said
public
that?
believes it regardless of what the candidate
And
Yeah,
says.
but a Republican candidate, like, okay, Ron Paul, like, yes, he's Ron Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally the most honest candidate we've had
most consistent politician in
Ever.
the history of the country.
ever,
Yeah.
ever, right?
Definitely.
But, like, no one ever believed Ron Paul was going to be a viable candidate. Here's Donald Trump saying we were lied into war in Iraq.
Sure.
Like,
not new information. It's not shocking. It's not new
know,
information.
it's shocking
not like
Honestly,
for someone that
I
wants
s-
to be president of the United States. Because
swear
do
to
you
God,
think
he is
Ronald,
the president of the United States. Thank you very much.
Do you think Ron Paul actually
Trump's
wanted to
president,
be?
nah.
Do you think Ron Paul wanted to be president of the United States
No.
at all? No, he never did. Without
Probably
doubt,
not,
I met
no
the man.
sane person would.
Yeah, exactly. He's saying he does not actually want to.
Right.
Trump did. He wants the power, and he said that.
Do you want to know what
So
Trump said
that's
the other
what
day?
scares the deep state against Donald Trump.
I get that argument,
right
but I can't see a distinction between the deep state's agendas and Donald Trump's policies.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I get that too,
you
but
know, like
I
everything
think
that
that's the
they're
point.
like releasing against him, like initially with the whole Russia Trump connection, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a connection. There's no connection.
there was no connection.
There was
I
no
understand
connection,
that.
but they kept releasing it because they were scared of that man.
I'm
because
on board,
they have
dude.
no idea from
Yeah.
day to day what's going to happen
No.
with Donald Trump.
I'm on board with that, but where does he become an asset to freedom lovers?
Right.
He's not.
He's not.
He's
no.
a fucking
He's
faggot.
only proven himself to move in the
He's
opposite
a
direction.
cocksucker, like
No,
all of
he's
them.
a statist.
I
He
think
sucks.
Absolutely a
3 or
statist.
4 days ago, he declared a national state of emergency about the use of opioids and like people
Yeah.
dying and overdosing
Oh
from
no,
opioids.
yeah, exactly.
And
Hey,
he's
by the way,
But
can
hey,
anybody
remember the war on drugs?
there
Because you're
is
still
a
all
national
about
state
that.
on
So
opiates. We
look
will
up,
agree on that. It's bad.
it's like, oh my God, my house is on
Not
fire.
the-
No,
Not
don't
the
put it
response
out.
that we want.
right? Don't
But
don't
I'm
put it
saying
out
is-
because
Just look at it. Look, it's on fire.
if we all started putting out all the fires at once, we'd probably just run out of water.
Right, there you go.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure out how to
Hold on.
peacefully coexist
You
with
all
the fires.
need to burn your top floor off,
Right, there you go.
and
I
everyone will
love
still
my
have
top floor.
everyone will still have a bottom
Doesn't
floor.
matter.
You don't need a
love my
roof.
top floor. Damn
The
it.
government
Okay, I
will be
do
your
it.
umbrella.
The government
Yeah.
said it. Okay, I'll do it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna burn it all off.
And
I'm
you know,
renting. Thank God I'm renting.
the other thing too, like yes, opioids are absolutely a problem in this country.
Yes, I know,
They're
but do you
absolutely
for the
a
know?
wrong
problem where we
reason.
live. They're a problem all over the world, but it's not.
But they're
because
legal, and the
people-
weed we're smoking right now could cause us to be shackled and put in a fucking cage.
Yeah. The I just read today actually that opioid use is up by 90%, or I'm sorry, 60%.
By the way, that killed
and
15,000 people a year.
the production of opioid use in Afghanistan is up by 90%, which, as we know, has a huge U.S. military
We've
presence.
been talking about this for years. Go
Yeah,
look
Absolutely.
at
that's always been a thing.
go look at the video that I made about kratom.
Kratom,
right?
yeah.
I outlined the
Did you watch
entire
that video?
No, I'm not. What?
No, go look on our channel a while back. Look up Kratom Sackler family opioid conspiracy, and you'll see it. And I
Vinny
outline.
doesn't get
It's great, yeah.
sarcasm.
No, I'm just telling you. I went through
Okay.
the whole fucking history
Are you gonna link that in the show notes page?
of how the medical
Do you
how
have a show notes page?
how they incentivize doctors
He doesn't.
to
Do you
prescribe
have a
more
show notes page?
opioids. What are you saying?
Do you have a show notes page where people can like link
Shinuts.
A shit out.
Do you have a shinuts
where people
page?
can
Shoutouts page.
link to the things that we're talking about?
Yeah, sometimes if well, you
No,
know.
sometimes.
I don't have a
Okay.
laptop in front of me. Usually I do it
No,
while we're
but
doing
listen,
this, but
go look up the Kratom video I made, and it
Did you link
explains
to it?
It
No.
explains
So
it's
the entire
easy
thing.
for
Yeah,
the
I'll
listener.
link to it, okay? Jesus.
Why wouldn't
I'll
you?
fucking
Lee,
link to it.
You know how lazy people are?
Anyways,
They want just easy links. They're not
Yeah.
gonna.
I'll tell
are
you.
you
in
trying to say we're
words.
not people?
I'll tell you how lazy people
No,
are.
I assume
I'll
all
tell you how
people are
lazy
lazy.
people are. I've been obsessed with the Kennedy assassination since I was a teenager, and I'm not reading these goddamn documents.
Yeah, we know.
That's how
we know.
lazy people are. Not one page. Fuck it. I assume that it's bullshit. I don't get how
no,
you
but
could.
kratom is a big deal in terms of kind of outlining the issue of the war on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
The
Or the issue of National Geographic that I'm breaking my weed up on, bro.
oh
What that accent
breaking-
was supposed
just-
to be.
yeah.
That I'm
Just
breaking my
breaking your weed up on.
bro.
There's nothing else.
Perfect.
There's nothing else you're doing on National Geographic.
I might draw some mustaches.
Yeah,
Okay,
on the
and
people.
some boobs.
Yeah, some tits.
there's already boobs already there.
Yeah.
It's National Geographic.
Like cross out parts of words so they make
he puts
swear words.
He puts band-aids over the boobs that are drawn.
I was
Makes them like less sense.
dude.
yeah.
You know what?
Oh, what's under that band-aid,
Ooh,
Miss
there's Band-Aids
April?
over those.
Hey, babe.
huh?
When I was a kid, I made Ashcroft look like Cromwell.
Oh, how long have you been doing the
With
episode?
my-
And Vinny's the first one to mention the
First Cromwell
My-
joke.
with my
Now it's gonna be
censorship.
all Cromwells, guys.
This is an inside joke.
not so inside anymore.
Everything
It's
makes
outside.
something look like Cromwell to us. We've been doing
It's
this all
a
day.
Dennis Miller reference. Tell them.
Andrea, did you find out who Cromwell was? Because we
No,
didn't
no,
know.
no, no, no,
1649 dude.
He's hilarious. Yeah, he's some guy from the
He's
1600s.
hilarious.
He's
Yes.
He
fucking
told all the jokes in 1649.
some,
He is.
some goofy ass Cromwell, 1600 fucking faggot. What we've been joking about all day. Do you know anything about him?
No. Who needs it?
Okay, Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah,
I'll tell
that's the
you
guy.
guys.
That's
yeah,
probably
let's
the
hear
guy.
it.
Born the 25th day of April.
Oh,
the year
that's
of,
what we need to
the
know.
year of
Can
our
you
Lord.
skip over that part?
Quiet. The year of our Lord, 1599, and died the 3rd day of September, the year of our Lord, 1615.
Isn't every day of
Wait,
our Lord?
1600.
Is that how it works?
16
Every day is
Shut up.
of our Lord.
Yes, they're all Lord days, but
Then why are you saying it
16
every time?
1658 he died. So
Yeah, so
there you go. He was
1624.
You know what they said about Oliver Cromwell? That he made Antonio Banderas look like Cromwell.
that wasn't funny.
That's funny to me. I
Hold
feel
on.
like that's enough.
He was an English military and political leader. and later Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England. Jesus, I'm fucked up. Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England. Let's see what
we already know all this.
What's a
Vinny.
Lord Protector? Oh, you know everything? What's a Lord Protector? Because I have it on the screen.
He's
but
the
you tell
one
me.
who stalks around the grounds of the palace dressed as a vampire.
Yeah, and he protects all the lords. Duh.
And he's like, bleh.
Lord
Lord-
Protector. I make Oliver Cromwell look like Oliver Cromwell.
The Lord, the Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and
So you don't
Ireland.
know what? You don't even know what it means either. You're just reading still.
Well, yeah.
And it then describe it further. You.
It does, though.
Are you
I
kidding?
gave you a chance to guess. It was the title of the head of state during the Commonwealth, or to monarchs, the interregnum.
Yeah.
Andrea said that.
I
Following-
did say that. I said interregnum, and you know it.
She always says that.
Yeah.
Following
Finally,
the
she was
first-
right
Following
about
the first
this.
period when
You're reading this makes my vocabulary
All right,
look like
Jesus fuck. Shut up! Don't say it, dude. Following the first period when a council of state held exclusive
Remember how
power,
this episode Oliver Cromwell?
the title was held.
These are like Oliver with it. It's so much better, actually.
No one could possibly have followed this. I'm reading this and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
no.
Who is Cromwell?
You're reading this
I'm
like
looking at a
Ernest
whole-
Hemingway as Oliver Cromwell.
You know
Come
what?
on.
That joke made Dane Cook look like Cromwell.
Ooh, I you know what? I apologize then. I am sorry. I did not mean for that to happen. I don't want to look like the Dane Cook of
I gotta
anything.
tell you guys, I'm looking at a whole page.
Or
of,
the Jeff Dunham.
I'm looking
I don't
at-
want to be a Jeff Dunham of Oliver Cromwell either.
You're a Jeff Dunham.
It might be a Jeff
Oh.
Dunham.
Yeah, you might.
Ooh.
If you think, wait,
Yeah, you got
That's
it.
more
Okay.
Jeff Foxworthy.
If you think
Oliver
Jeff
Cromwell.
Dunham is a little more like Cromwell, you might be a Jeff Foxworthy. P.S. That was my Dennis Miller voice, so there's another
Yeah,
layer
that's
to
perfect.
that.
That's
Yeah.
spot on. Spot on.
hey, babe,
So, anyway,
I'm a conservative comic, babe. Hey, I talk like Sammy Davis Jr. for no reason. I don't fit in
Babe.
anywhere but the 80s, babe. Ever since then, I've been horribly anachronistic
I know,
in
but
my
he
approach.
He replaces
He always tries to use a word like that, you know, like
Norm Macdonald. He was late '90s
No,
SNL,
he
right?
did not.
Yeah,
I don't
he
care
was.
how you spin it. No,
He was
did
late
not.
'90s SNL Weekend Update, right?
what's your no? Because there's no replacing Norm Macdonald. Lee.
Okay,
That's-
he was he was the person
Making it
that
look
did
like-
Weekend Update after Norm Macdonald.
Can I tell you guys something? I have a whole page of Cromwell in front of me, and I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. I can't.
He's
fuck-
a dude.
Like I'm telling anybody out there, you can read a whole page of Cromwell. 90% of the things I've never heard of. I don't know what any of these things
I mean,
are.
he does things.
This guy is a
They
Lord
can relate
Protector.
to.
Oh, he's a Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland.
Everyone already knew that, Vinny.
In the interregnum.
Like,
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this ass?
why are you speaking down to your audience? Everyone in this audience
hey, babe.
knew.
Hey, babe. Cromwell makes D.B. Cooper look like Cromwell.
I don't know how many
almost
times
there.
I have to
You
say
almost did it.
interregnum to you
You
for you
almost
to
did it.
understand what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Is that the shit that guys get in their penis skin that are uncircumcised? Fucking have to wipe out their interregnum.
Ooh, no.
I thought we were gonna get one more guest on the show, but she's still just gonna sleep.
Yo.
She drank for like 100 hours.
Let's
straight.
cheer. Let's cheer her on. Yeah,
Every
Katie.
day in New Orleans.
Katie,
Should we do a
actually,
chant?
What time is it? It's 4:17
Are we
in the
chanting
morning.
Yeah.
Katie.
Cromwell?
Cromwell.
Cromwell. Cromwell. Cromwell. Look, she's dancing. Cromwell. Cromwell. All right.
Okay, she's still passed out.
She did give us a little fist bumping though.
Yeah,
so.
there was. Yeah, she enjoyed the chant clearly.
Katie
And
kinda
then
look
immediately
when,
passed out.
When Katie has her head back like that, like now that she's all skinny, she kind of looks like the dude in D. Antwoord. Like with her
Dude.
You mean
Yeah,
the,
the
you
dude.
mean the
Not
girl?
the girl. No,
you
no,
mean
no.
the girl
She
in
looks
the
like
N-word?
the fucking like strung out South African method.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
I
it
see
look.
what you're saying.
Look at her.
I get it.
Well, that's a
I see
dream,
it.
isn't it?
That is the dream. Everyone wants to be that person.
Don't act like you don't want to look like a South African crackhead.
Yeah. I'm
That's
too
what you said,
skinny.
right?
What's wrong with her? You think she's on drugs, Andrea?
Yeah, it's called alcohol.
At
She
least
drank
one,
it all
At
day.
least one alcohol that you gave her.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's New Orleans.
New rule. I
People on
have
my talk
to-
show can only be on 2 drugs at a time.
Wait, I have to go back to.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Well, I thought I'd be slick about it, but apparently
It's not very slick.
Turns out you're still looking up Oliver Cromwell. He hasn't done anything.
He's obsessed.
He's Lord Protector.
Nothing that guy did makes any sense to me.
He
That's
probably killed
he
a
was-
bunch of Native Americans, and they
he
just
was-
don't want to put it
Yeah,
on.
you know what?
He
He,
was
probably
in a-
made Custer
No,
look
he-
like Cromwell.
He was in a novel somewhere because I remember reading about him in English. somewhere.
Cromwell's Last Stand. Hey, new rule. I gotta fucking smoke.
Are we pausing?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
take
bye.
a break.
Okay, so after this commercial break, tell us
Yeah.
about this.
I hope there's less Cromwell, but
Oh, Cromwell
Why?
cigarettes is gonna be.
I'm just asking any average person out there who's not some kind of British smarty pants to understand who the fuck this guy was. That's all we're asking. We've been drinking all day, but if anybody could explain this faggot, I would really appreciate it. We'll be back on the Overdose Talk Show. Okay, we're back on the Overdose.
Talk show.
in New Orleans the last time.
It is weird. It sneaks up on you. Like, I hated this town. I still kind of hate this town for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, but you also love this town for a
But
lot
I
of
love it.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are.
It's a weird thing that a lot of people have with New Orleans. Like, it's so fucking free. Even if it's not on paper too much different from a lot of cities, it's very different socially from a lot of cities. Like, there's a few different things. I was talking to a girl the other day who brings up, Lee, you're gonna like this. Yeah, I know, it was hot.
I want to give
I was-
a give a reason too after you're done talking.
Yeah, you're gonna like this. I was talking to this girl a few days ago, and she brings up, man, you know, I kind of like it here, except it's so horribly segregated. And I said,
What?
yeah, I said, what? I wasn't.
Well, and what's the problem?
Well, I wasn't.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Too many people doing things the white way. Cuck.
Well, no, honestly, what did she mean though
No,
with
so
that?
that's what I said. I said I kind of laughed at first. I was like, really? I was like, do you think so? And she's like, oh, and she was a total cunt, of course. She goes, like, well, how could you not notice that? And I'm like, well, okay, I'm from the north, right? Where I'm from, things are physically segregated. Where, like, literally, I can go to the gas station and say what's up to some black guys, and they probably won't fucking even look at me or respond to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, shit's weird
Yeah.
in a lot of parts of the country.
And what did she mean?
And she meant this. Well, the whole city was built by slavery. I was like,
Oh, that's what she meant.
I was like, first of all,
Hundreds of years ago.
but also,
That's the segregation she meant.
Her reverence makes me care.
Yeah.
but what does that have to do exactly? What does that have to do with now? And I
Yeah,
tried to
exactly.
even, but I was trying. It was one of those conversations where at the end of it, I was like,
Wait, can I also ask the ethnicity of this woman?
oh, what do you think?
I assume she's 23 years old and white.
Exactly.
Really racist.
No, you're exactly
No,
right.
But I was right. I pegged it.
Offensive.
You're
pegged it.
You're exactly right.
If I'm right, it's not racist. That's the thing, right?
She might have been as old as 27, but I put her in the 23 to 27 range. White girl, who made several anti-white.
She would be offended if you said 27 to her.
But I would hope.
Even if she was 28.
Dude, I would hope. She's such a cunt.
She's probably 37 years old.
She was such a
but
cunt.
let's say she's 23 years old.
It was one of those situations where, like, later I thought about it, and it took me off guard at the time, and I was trying to be polite. And later I thought about it. I was like, why didn't I call that girl a fucking cunt? 'Cause she was such an asshole. I was being nice, and I told her, I was like, look, based on...
she was attractive? Is that why you didn't do it?
No, not at all.
Then what, Vinny? Why did you, what's going on
because
here?
it took it because it
Your
wasn't...
brain just processes
She didn't-
so slow.
No, she didn't...
Like, I don't know.
No,
Oliver North, if he was Oliver Cromwell.
Listen to me. That didn't even make sense.
It doesn't have to. That's the thing.
Listen to me.
That's the joke, Vinny. I have to explain my joke to you now.
Here's why.
That's it.
I'll tell you why. Because
Why do you tell me why?
because I was caught off guard, and I didn't want to be like overly aggressive asshole. I was like, I'll wait for her to really step over that line, but she never quite
She
did.
did already.
It was
She
just-
clearly already stepped over that line.
Not for me.
She was much like
Not
I don't even have an analogy for it, really. It might have been like someone in
Nice.
1649 England. I don't know,
uh-huh.
but it seems like it.
Like who
Dope.
other than Cromwell?
Yeah. Name one other
One
guy.
person. Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? Nothing's coming to mind at all.
No, but so anyways.
But honestly,
So
what were you waiting for? Is this not your thing? You're waiting for that to happen?
So here's the thing. Hold on.
So what? Like, what were you drugged?
If you
were
haven't,
you? What was your state of mind, Vinny?
no, because dude, here's what it was.
You just woke up. You were trying to eat a breakfast burrito, and you didn't care.
She kept getting in sly, kind of like snarky statements like
What, you
this.
kept talking
like,
to her?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another one. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did. Okay, for 15 minutes. All right. Will you shut the
You
fuck up?
talked for 15 minutes
Will
and
you
didn't give her
shut the
anything
fuck up,
back
dude?
to her.
Listen to me. Listen to me. What I'm trying to fucking tell you.
Vinny.
Shut up. Listen. Here's the thing.
I'm almost always on your side, except for right now.
I told her, look, this is my perspective. I'm from the north where things are like very physically segregated. I think one of the coolest things about New Orleans is that everybody chills in the same neighborhoods. Like there's not a black bar and a white bar and a this and that like there are in a lot of cities. You know, everybody chills together. You know, there are places where things are segregated, whatever, fine. But it's different than most cities. I really do think that. And
Yeah.
she was like, she goes, yeah, I thought the same thing for like a week. That kind of bitch, right?
And you didn't just destroy
And then I
her. Why are you
watched
not
a
destroying her at
documentary
this
about
moment,
that
Vinny?
Michael Moore made.
I don't know, dude. I just was caught off guard, and I felt bad later. I was like, why did I not fucking... Yeah, I was
feel
what-
like you live for this moment.
I
You're
don't
not
know,
just
dude.
on guard constantly for this moment that's going to happen to you.
I wasn't drinking also, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get it then.
That's the thing.
I'm fine with that.
It was a sober sidewalk conversation.
Yeah, I understand.
And so anyways, it goes on, and I go, and I ask her, I was like, where are you from? She says, Boston. I said,
What?
Boston is the most notoriously segregated city in the entire fucking country, from everything I've heard. Right? It's like one of those places where lines are drawn.
But
And
did she have a bias for Boston?
She had a bias as a cunt who wanted to
And-
be like a super fucking elitist liberal.
Yeah, but
you know.
Also,
blah, blah, blah.
Boston sucks.
But did she mention did she mention the food of Boston? How did she like the food of Boston?
I don't know.
The Italian food is good. The cocktails are good. The Harvard neighborhood is cool, but most of the food sucks.
Andrea was just in Boston. Andrea,
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
you notice? Was it clear cut racially, like area to area?
I didn't see. I don't know. Here's the thing about Boston is we hung out in the Harvard neighborhood when we were actually like eating and doing stuff or whatever. Which is obviously mostly white people, but they're all college age.
Why is that?
people
Why
anyway.
would that be obvious, Andrea? Why
Because
why-
black people are stupid.
All right.
Okay.
You've definitely been drinking a lot.
That's what she said.
No,
that's
it
what she
just
said?
it just
Literally,
was.
that's
It's
what she
just
said.
it's expensive, and you know, it's just whatever.
Okay, but you
but the
didn't
other part about Boston,
You didn't see a lot of African Americans there. is what
overall,
you're saying.
no. I spent 2 weeks traveling on the East Coast, and I saw 2 black people. That's
Okay.
an honest
But
estimate.
you didn't go
of
to
how-
would just
you didn't
say
go to
that.
big cities though.
You don't have to
Not
make
very many,
assumptions.
but I didn't see any black people when I was in Boston, and
Really?
and
out
part
they
of that
don't wanna
too
be
is
in a
that
tourist
This is what I'm
area.
saying. So I asked this fucking cunt. I said you're from Boston, one of the most notoriously fucking segregated cities in the country, and you're telling me New Orleans is worse. Because she was making this big deal out of it, and she just wouldn't relinquish the point. I'm like, dude, go drive around the country.
New Orleans, like it's very like I don't even understand how that's possible.
Exactly. How could anyone think that?
Like, there's no way that there's any white person in New Orleans that doesn't have a close like black friend.
Right. Exactly.
It's impossible.
Right. Exactly.
Like
Right.
we're just so integrated.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just so friendly to each other.
And also,
How does that even happen that there's segregation at all?
that's the thing
In
about here. It's-
2017 New Orleans.
The income disparity in New Orleans historically has been like very what would you say?
marginal.
Marginal, yeah.
Well, yeah, because
And-
most of New Orleans is service industry.
Exactly.
Well, like,
Everybody works the
which
same
isn't,
jobs. They
like-
live in the same fucking neighborhoods. We go
Yeah.
to the same bars.
Like,
It's
you be
not like-
friendly to someone, you're gonna get paid well.
and also you just
That's
don't,
all you have to do.
a lot, dude. I don't know if I feel like a lot of people around the country could identify with this, but like the people just don't mix up like they do here. You know, and I was trying to.
There's never been a town I've been in where it's just been like everything so integrated here.
exactly,
It's
It is different. It's unique.
and it's fun.
Yeah,
It is,
It's
dude.
fine. It's fun. Like
I
no one
interacted
thinks
with more
anything
black
different
people
of it.
today than I usually do in a year.
It's
That's actually probably true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that. Like
But
that's
see,
just naturally what
Because I know
happens.
how to avoid them.
It's
at
a
home.
lot of people would think it was fucked up.
Turns out she just stopped speaking after like 7 words.
It turns out that you know, it's like sorry, not turns out. I was gonna say a lot of people think it was really fucked up for us to even like notice that shit. But I feel like if you live in a bigger city in the north, you do notice like you stop in a gas station and say what's up to black guys and they just ignore you or like
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
Whatever,
Either you
like-
stop
That's
in a
how I
gas
felt in
station.
Houston too.
You either
Yeah.
stop in a gas station and it's all white guys, or you stop in a gas station and it's all black guys.
Right.
Those are your options.
Yeah, like just in Houston, like you just don't.
Houston
you-
is one of the most terrifyingly segregated cities
You
I've
don't-
ever
you-
been to.
like-
where like there's places you don't belong. You
Right.
can't be here.
Like
Don't
there-
go.
no, like,
Here's the tour I got from my best friend who lives in Houston. The first time I was there, he drove me through the city and said, "Don't go there after sundown, you'll get shot. Don't go there after sundown, you'll
A
get
lot of
shot."
that is hype,
Here's
dude.
where I saw someone get stabbed. Here's
I
where
mean,
I saw
that's
someone
also
get
New
stabbed.
Orleans.
Here's
like,
where I saw someone
like,
get
you don't want
stabbed.
to go in certain areas in New Orleans.
That's true.
But like
Yeah.
like in Houston, like
you lived in Houston, right?
Walmart, like gas stations, I'm not greeting people like I do. Like in New Orleans, you pass by someone, you say hi to them.
Sure.
That's what you do
Always.
in New Orleans.
In
Yeah,
any-
I noticed that earlier.
Regardless of
in
anything
any
at all.
neighborhood, any type of person.
Like you feel
any
like a
time of day.
jerk if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
literally do
Right.
not say hi to someone that you walk by.
That's
Yeah.
true.
In Houston, I didn't feel like that.
No.
I met a lot of great people in Houston, all different colors, but it was like for an event. Like we played flag football together, or we were
Exactly.
doing this together,
Yeah.
or we were doing that together. I would meet
Like
a lot of great
all of,
people, but
all-
just like generally walking by people, you just kept to yourself. You don't acknowledge anyone
But
else's
even like
existence.
even just hanging out, people like all the black friends that I have in Chicago are due to specific common interests that we have. So we might become friends. But like in now, you know, when I live here, I just have all kinds of black friends that just are hanging out and
Around.
chilling. You know, yeah, we just all do the same shit. You know what I mean? It's not
Well,
the same
like,
thing.
I mean, Houston's kind of the same thing. No, like.
well,
like,
it depends.
I've-
I mean,
Go on. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna ask what neighborhood you lived in Houston.
I lived in one of the most ghetto areas in Houston.
Which one?
Northwest 290, which, if anyone knows, there's literally three strip clubs within walking distance of where I
Okay.
lived. So that's why I'm gonna say it's
That's
ghetto.
fucking hardcore, dude.
That's ghetto, right?
Yeah.
ghetto?
I'm surprised you survived.
Well, I came home with a security guard outfit every night, so people thought I was probably a cop, so they didn't mess with me. That's fine.
You have a white enough look to you that you
Oh
could
yeah,
just,
they definitely assume I'm some type of officer of the law.
all you need is a clipboard. You could be in any ghetto in the fucking country. You'd automatically just be like a social worker or somebody like that.
I might affect their income.
You'd be
for a
from
month.
if you were walking through the ghetto with a clipboard, you'd be CPS. Nobody fuck with you.
Yeah.
So, 2 stories I want to throw out. One, the company I worked for used to keep track of our steps through like Fitbit or.
By the way, I hope
pedometer.
you're not throwing these stories out because they're garbage. I hope
Ooh, okay, thanks, Vinny. So anyway,
Send 'em up,
like
I'll knock 'em
you had to walk
down.
so many.
I got it.
You had to walk so many steps in order to get money off your medical deductible. So like I would just like walk around my neighborhood, and twice a hooker would come up to me and just like, "Hey, you have a cigarette?" Like, no, I don't smoke.
How does
Like,
this have to do
I'm
with awkward
And
racial?
you were
Really?
like, no, ma'am,
just a
I'm not
man,
interested.
Just like walking with shorts, like I just trying to walk. And, like,
I'm
she just,
clearly-
like, tried to walk with me.
Clearly, ma'am, I'm a prostitute.
Yeah.
What
makes you think I have
guess
money
it just
for
shows
this?
the ghetto-ness that I lived in. Like immediately, a girl's like, "Hey, you have a cigarette?" No, I don't smoke. Oh, well, you want to have some fun? Like, well, I'm having fun right now.
You're like,
Just walking.
What do you mean?
For free?
What do you mean, foosball or something?
No, I clearly knew she wanted to have extracurricular fun. That would cost me the dollar signs. Not worth it because you shouldn't have all the teeth. I like someone with all the teeth.
Right. If
Yeah.
If you're
It's
gonna,
not a tall
You're
order.
gonna pay for sex.
Yeah.
It should be one.
Can you
complete human
smile at
being.
me without like holes in your mouth?
Right. Yeah, there
One
should
whole
be
person.
Zero
please.
body parts missing in general. I would feel like if you're selling your because there's plenty of complete bodies.
If a
out there.
person has all their teeth, a foot is inconsequential.
I
as
always
far as I'm
wondered that
concerned.
about prostitutes. Like, when you see, like, those mugshots and shit about, like, and they're, like, the nastiest fucking piece of shit ladies you ever seen in your goddamn life. How does the market support them? How is there not 19-year-olds every fucking day all hot as shit coming out and getting ruined?
Ew. How
She
many
was gonna charge me
19-year-olds did you know that wanted to fuck a 50-year-old woman?
She offered
Interesting you asked. Have you read my latest book?
she offered me $15. That's how they make their money. They lower their money,
Okay.
their cost.
Yes.
I mean, $15. I mean,
But just every
Maybe.
time I see, like, a prostitute
Turns out-
mugshot, I'm amazed there's a market. for
turns
that.
out I
You
wasn't
know, I'm like,
$15 desperate for sex.
That's the thing that people are giving money to?
It's like, why not just fucking, like jerk off in a field or something?
Yeah.
Like, by yourself.
Infinitely better.
You think a field is? You think a field is better than a woman?
Just not-
Yes.
Yeah.
How dare you,
A
sir?
fucking wrinkle
A woman can do anything a field can do, but better.
Heroin face.
How are you not on the side of the woman on this one? You're defending.
I hate
the
women.
field?
I said that earlier in this episode.
Yeah, don't
Oh.
try to get her on that. She's
Oh. But I'm here to.
worse than me.
I'm here to say women can do just as much as a field can do for $15. The other story
They
that
probably can,
Less.
but they probably can, but they're a lot more maintenance.
Oh no.
Oh.
If you mentioned OC in that, we would have loved it. Why didn't you mention OC?
Okay, guys, listen to me. I got a news article.
All right.
65 pounds of marijuana arrive with Florida couple's Amazon order.
Oh, no one cares about this.
Boy, oy, 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 oy.
What's the story, Vinny? Why do we care about this?
Well, the
Because we
reason
like weed.
the customer
And we like
Oh, there's
Amazon.
drugs involved, so we're going to talk about it. Who cares? What's the story?
because you see, here's the thing. You'll never understand it because you're such a
Good square.
Cromwell.
I'm an L7
you're an
wiener.
L7. Like I just made the hand motions. The customer.
L7 wiener.
Listen to what it says. The customer and her fiance ordered 27-gallon storage containers so they could put some items away in storage. When they opened the containers, they were immediately hit with the marijuana's strong odor.
Oh my God.
They're lucky they didn't asphyxiate on the spot.
Is that what that says?
They
That's what that
probably
story
instantly
says?
started
No, I'm
hallucinating.
editorializing.
Oh, I wish that story said that. Vinny, you're
I'll bet
the
they
worst.
started hallucinating.
Summarize
They probably
impartially.
And then they saw a bunch of undercover cops
Look,
stalking
they're
them, and
just
then they
lucky-
There
called
was one
911
cop
on
inside
themselves.
the barrel with a bunch of weed holding it above his head.
They're just lucky there was no children around. That's all I was
Yeah.
saying. Because you know what I mean? A story like this, you just hope children are all right. So anyways, the police seized the order and launched an ongoing investigation. So they fucking called the cops. They said, the couple said they feared for their safety following the shipment.
Well, he thought it may leap out and attack us.
Right, yeah.
Or they thought like they're
They're-
like the government's watching this. We need to report it.
Or
Some huge drug dealer has us targeted
no,
now.
what they thought, yeah, exactly. What they thought, they feared that whoever accidentally sent it to them would come looking for them to get
How
it.
much
oh,
weed
yeah,
was it?
that's true.
Listen to me. This is my point. This is why I brought this article up, okay? These dumbass fucks. 65 pounds of weed, okay? If it's halfway decent weed, you're looking at a minimum of $120,000 if you sell it, right? So
What if you
these
smoke it? How much is it worth if you smoke it?
Way more.
look, those memories are priceless.
240,000? Twice as much?
At least, yeah.
What's the amount of smoking weed that they had? That's what I want to know.
They probably don't smoke weed, or else we never would have heard this story. This never would have been.
Actually, we
reported.
just heard Florida couple died in a strange accident.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Florida couple died.
They alligators ate them or something. We don't know. Who
Florida
cares?
couple died from eating 6 pounds of weed brownies in a
They're
half an hour.
eating brownies.
So, but here's the point, dude. Do you know what? I mean, we're talking $120,000 to $200,000, depending on the quality of the weed.
Okay.
So that's enough to fucking pick up and leave. If you're so scared, by the
Yeah,
way,
okay.
where do you think that amount of weed is coming from? It's not coming from like
Have you
cartels
seen
and
the
blah blah blah.
season 1 of Weeds?
No.
What was it about?
Wait, you have not?
No.
Vinny, have you?
No, and I can't imagine what it could possibly be
The
about.
first season of Weeds is phenomenal. Do you not watch any other seasons? They're just terrible. They'll let you down.
Uh-huh.
But the first season
No,
is
it's about
so
a
good.
woman who supports her family by doing like
Meth.
no. She
Heroin.
does like a like a landscaping maintenance business.
No, he sells weed. It's called Weeds. There you go.
I bet she's
You
dope.
got it.
Yeah,
You're
I
doing
got
it.
it. I
You're
got the
doing it.
joke.
So
And then also, yeah, she does a landscaping thing on the side. You knew it, apparently, the entire time.
but did she get her shit shipped to her accidentally?
No, she gets her shit handed to her
Do you
on a
understand?
daily basis.
No, but Kevin Nealon's
How
in the
is this-
first season.
but-
He's amazing in the first
Do you
season.
not see the significance of this story?
No, I
Who's
don't.
Shipping 65 pounds of weed.
Who makes that
accidentally?
mistake?
Accidentally.
Like
who's
who's shipping 65 pounds of weed and not
Wait.
Dude,
Who-
seriously, when if
Go
like
on.
$50 is involved in something,
Yeah.
I will check it 85 times. Be like,
Yeah.
this is the right number. This is exactly what I'm supposed to do with it. Here we go. Blah blah blah. Who's shipping 65 pounds of weed? Just kind of like, is that the right address? Yeah, like probably.
Yeah.
Like there you go.
Well,
wait.
it's somebody in Amazon.
She
It's-
ordered-
they have probably like a code about what you order, and here's what's delivered. Like when people go to
So
a
it's somewhere
drive-through and they
higher
order a
up?
burger with extra ketchup, extra onions, because nobody would ever
They're
actually order
supposed
that.
they're supposed to look for the one with the red X on it or whatever.
Yeah,
And
they're
they-
Heisenberging.
Right.
They ordered 255 barrel drums of nothing.
of weed.
That's not what.
No.
that's not what you
No,
said.
they
is
ordered.
it?
They ordered
27-gallon
They ordered
containers.
storage containers.
Yeah.
Okay, storage containers with no weed. Zero weed
Yeah,
in them.
they checked. There was a box
And then
on
all
the
of a
Amazon
sudden,
checkout
there
that
was
said with weed or
57
without.
pounds of weed in there.
Yeah, but if they
That's a
need-
huge
We didn't
discrepancy.
pay for this weed.
No, if
I just want a storage container with nothing in it.
But
Yeah.
why would
Can I 2-day ship that? Oh, perfect.
No,
All right.
that's not. You're,
I'm
you're
Amazon
hanging on to the wrong
Prime
part of
already.
this story,
Yeah.
which is that
That's the
ordering
most-
storage containers
That's
is
the most
not a super unusual
Amazon
thing for
Prime
people to
story.
do.
Lee,
That's awesome.
Lee,
I order.
why would hold on?
I order a storage container
Hold
and
on.
then I
Great.
get it with weed. I love Amazon
Okay,
Prime
dude, shut-
forever.
Listen,
I don't even
why-
smoke weed.
The end.
why would someone knowingly buy weed over the internet and then turn
And
themselves
then
in?
call the cops
Yeah,
on
you're-
themselves.
No, what I'm saying is
No.
I think I'm a weed head.
they
Yeah.
ordered 2 storage containers with nothing in them.
Right.
And
I
then
thought
all
you
of a
said
sudden,
20.
weed was in them.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just like a 5-pound discrepancy at all.
Oh, with the weight of the shipment?
Yeah, the shipment's like
Oh,
way off.
65 pounds. You're right.
Completely wrong.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize your point.
Like-
Holy shit.
Which is why it has
Like,
to be
I
someone
ordered 2
at
empty
Amazon.
shipping containers. That's
This is
all
an
I
inside-
want.
This is an inside job.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's all I
There's no
wanted.
way
Is
it
2
wasn't.
empty shipping containers.
I didn't get
All of
your
a sudden,
point.
65 pounds is in one container.
I apologize. I totally didn't get your point at first. But
Thank
that's
you.
right, dude. That's an amazing
For the first
point.
time tonight, someone gets my point.
That's an amazing point. There is no
As she looks at
way
the
that
wall.
would. There was no way a 65-pound discrepancy
That's
in a
huge
package
discrepancy.
weight would be overlooked. There's no fucking way.
Who- like, there's so many agencies that are overlooking that discrepancy.
This is an inside job, 100%.
Yup.
I hate to blow up their spot. I'm sorry about
Oh, you
that.
just blew
Oh
it up.
yeah, breaking news. Amazon
on
might be
the
doing
Overdose
stuff.
Talk Show, episode OC.
Stop. the-
Amazon. Here's the problem, though, is that Amazon is such an enormous, out of control company at this point that there's no way that they could regulate everything at a meticulous level as they have been able to in the past. Especially with how often
They
people
can't
are
tell the difference
ordering.
between like 2 pounds and 60.
They don't have the
67
time to
pounds.
fucking care. It's a
No.
person
Isn't
who's
it all through UPS?
But Amazon. See,
Isn't
here's-
Amazon,
UPS care?
no, it's delivered through Amazon. They have their own shit. They have their own
No,
couriers.
UPS
I don't
delivers
know if I
and
buy,
USPS delivers for Amazon.
I don't know if I buy that a company doing a ton of shipping isn't fucking weighing. I mean, that's the whole point.
No, that's
They're
not what I'm
shipping a
saying at
third
all.
person.
I'm
It's
saying
all
that there's
third
a person who put the weed in there and said, "Oh no, it's supposed to be this weight," and there's nobody else there to be like, "Wait, it's just empty shipping containers. Why is
Right.
it so heavy?"
One way or another, it's an inside goddamn job.
Right.
Yeah, someone's on the inside.
And
I'm
it's
sick of
impossible
you.
to
I'm sick of
regulate
you
something
shilling
that
for the
size.
It
establishment.
turns out when
and,
they,
and being an Amazon apologist. I've been telling you this is an inside job for 20 goddamn minutes. And
when they opened up that container, a midget jumped out with some weed because
There you
he's on
go.
the inside.
They ordered
He's
the
the
party
inside
package.
person of this whole operation.
And by the way,
He walked out with 2 handfuls of weed.
doesn't matter what race he is.
No, I
Long-
didn't.
No.
I didn't care what he was.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I actually,
I personally was imagining an Asian one.
I imagined
So-
a
an Asian one.
Samoan.
Long as he's short and has cabbage patch arms,
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
fine.
he was clearly a Samoan.
There could be any kind. Who knows?
Oh,
Are
I
there,
hope I
like,
run
other-
for office one
You know what's
day.
weird? I don't
and
think
someone replays the Samoan aspect of my thing. Because I'm in Hawaii all of a sudden, I just insult everyone in Hawaii.
I don't know that I've
Request
seen an
Samoan.
Asian midget. That's got to be a thing.
That's got to be a thing.
Let's not
You-
even look
you
it
have
up.
Google right
Let's
in
just,
front of
you
you.
know what? Here's the problem with the
Give
world.
us the next article, Vinny. Come on.
Nothing is.
We've moved on.
There's no mystery anymore.
Move on
let's
to
just-
the next article, please. Can we talk about something else? Or do you want to talk about Adam Kokesh?
Good segue. Yeah. Let's just.
Terrible
Stop
segue.
this topic. New topic.
I literally
Yeah.
had
New rule.
I literally had 2 segues previously into Adam Kokesh, and no one wanted it, so I didn't do it. I didn't force it.
Good.
That's
That's great instincts.
literally
What you're
the-
doing now is not great instincts.
It's the Adam Kokesh way. I didn't force it.
So-
but now I'm going to. So it's
Lee
not the
picked
Adam
me
Kokesh
up.
way.
Lee picked me up a book tonight.
Oh.
That
I
was.
gave you a book, sir,
Yeah, I know, but
as
you got
a
it.
going away gift.
You got it for free.
because you're leaving New Orleans.
You got it for free, so it
You
doesn't
don't know
count.
that.
Yes, I do because I saw the Facebook event.
Oh.
I know that
I
everybody.
had to pay $50 per book that I got.
No, you didn't.
How do you know?
How do you know?
That's way too much.
Oh, I'm sorry I paid too much
You
for
just
your
wouldn't.
friendship, Vinny.
So you went to see Adam Kokesh, who is down the street from us, and I have to leave town tomorrow. We're busy fucking packing and moving, and I really couldn't get away for that long to go over there and meet him. But was it cool?
Kokesh
No.
was awesome.
Yeah?
No, he was
I didn't
super,
like him.
He was super personal.
Andrea wasn't there.
He was great. He said, like, I'm always a skeptic. I mean, really, like, Ron Paul just made me, like, I hate anyone running for anything type person.
Right. Sure.
Well, with the exception of Ron Paul, because Ron Paul is just the most honest person ever.
He's the real deal Holyfield.
He'll be in front of anyone. He'll just speak his mind. Someone will ask him a question.
Sure.
He'll say honestly what he believes, and that's what I love about Ron Paul. That's what kept me in the Republican Party for probably too long. But like Adam Kokesh, and I've known him for years through Ron Paul. But like what he said, I can honestly believe.
Well, he's got a
Like-
very consistent philosophy of voluntary exchange. He doesn't believe in, you know, and I tend to fall into that camp too, where I just can't fucking get behind the idea of forced exchange of goods and services.
Yeah,
I can't. I think all interactions should be voluntary. And I'm sorry if you don't think roads would be built, you know, whatever. I don't care. You know, I just can't get behind the idea.
Speaking of roads, quick like Vinny.
Yeah.
So the land that he owns,
Who, God?
Adam Kokesh.
Oh, okay.
Which
I thought you were.
land?
I thought you were
Jot
speaking
that down.
No, just Adam Kokesh.
Word of the Lord.
That's what we're talking about. So he had a contest to name the road that goes to his house, and the name that won.
Bodie
was-
big boat face.
Yeah. Well, no. Let's
No,
guess.
that's literally what I thought it was gonna be. Roadie McRoadface.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
It would have been great, but it was actually Mo Road, MUH
Oh, that's awesome.
Road. So he
That
like
is
as soon
really
as they
funny.
put the sign up, like his address is 1 Mo Road,
That's hilarious.
which is just
That's really funny.
phenomenal.
Holy
like,
shit.
Right?
If you don't get it, MUH is a thing that's generally used to disparage a thing that people want.
Yeah, like Mo Roads.
But it started the
Explain
first
my
time I
roads.
ever saw it was like they would make fun of libertarians, like more freedoms, more guns,
Yeah.
more blah blah blah. And
No,
that's-
it was just the roads is the thing.
So libertarians
tell
turned
me
it
Mo
around
Roads.
into more roads,
Yeah.
which is like what the general pro-government will always revert back to. Like, what
Yeah.
about roads? Like, yeah, they're terrible. I've driven on them. They
Don't build themselves.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But what if they weren't here at all? Well,
Oh, yeah. What's gonna
never
happen?
happen. But okay.
So yeah, he's gonna post a picture as soon as it's posted of Mo Road, which will go, I assume, across the internet super quickly, because you know how us, our libertarians, just post pictures across the internet.
Andrew, you're falling asleep.
Yes,
All right, should we get out of here?
I have to. Yeah.
Yeah. This was fun though.
So morning.
Did you say warming?
Morning. It's
Oh,
morning
it's
now.
morning.
Yeah.
It's only 5:11.
Lee,
Yeah, that
it's been
counts as
nice to be
morning.
your friend, and it's a really great time to know you. Past couple years really meant a lot. And
1 year? You meant 1 year.
And friendship is a great thing that I will
Yeah.
always cherish and remember for many years to come. And I really wish you all the best in the world as a guy that I truly care about.
And I'll never talk to you again.
And Andrea, I want to thank you for hanging out. And
And I'll talk to you again.
we'll see you next time
Andrea.
on the Overdose Talk Show. Good night, everybody.
Son of a bitch.